Hello, everyone. Brainerd Carey here. I want to tell you a little about who I am, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to use Instagram for artists. If you're an artist, this will be a short primer on how to use Instagram to get the attention of gallerists, museums, collectors, alternative spaces. So I'm Brainerd Carey, and I've interviewed over 1,000 people on Yale Radio. It's a program where I interview curators and directors and artists from all over the world. I've written a few books on developing artists' careers. This is one of them, The Art World Demystified, and I've written 5 others. So I draw from my own experience as an artist, but I also draw from the experience of the many people that I've interviewed. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Instagram today. And Instagram is an amazing social media for artists as well as collectors and gallerists, because you just simply flip through a series of images that are either exciting or they're not to look at, right? But it's purely visual. So how do you get galleries, museums, collectors, and alternative spaces, good nonprofits, to have you on their radar, right? It's easy enough to get them on their radar, which on your radar, which I'll explain, but how do you become a known quantity to all of these entities? And with Instagram, it's fairly simple. First, obviously, you begin following the galleries that you like. They could be local galleries, they could be major galleries if you want, or they could be galleries that are suited for emerging or mid-career artists, either in your area or in the nearest city. You could go there as well. And then there are museums that are local to you, or they don't have to be local. Follow those too. And I'm not saying do 100 follows in a day. Be selective. Follow the museums you wanna follow. Follow the galleries you wanna follow. And then you'll see also collectors. There's plenty of collectors in there. I mean, where do you find the collectors? You can either look in a magazine under the top collectors, in the world, and you'll see them there. But you'll also see them following other people's accounts, following certain galleries' accounts, and you can look at who's commenting on posts on Facebook, on Instagram. Okay, so we're talking about Instagram, and just to be really clear about the way to use it, after you follow, and let's say no more than a dozen galleries you're interested in, museums that you're interested in, could be curators as well as alternative spaces that you're interested in, follow them. You can find them just by going to those shows or looking up shows locally. You'll see who's the curator or who's the director and the gallery. So follow a dozen or so of these people, as well as some collectors. And then what I want you to do is go through all those, have those, if you're not already following hundreds of people, look at those feeds every day of the dozen or so people you followed. And again, these are galleries, these are museums, there might be a few collectors in there, there's curators, and there's alternative spaces. So you go through that once a day and look if they posted anything interesting. Definitely like what you think is good there, but the most important thing and the takeaway from this brief talk today is to comment also on their specific post. So if Museum of Modern Art or a local museum to you, if that is a Museum of Modern Art or whatever museum's near you or gallery, when they post an image, respond to it not just by like or 2 words, but write a sentence, a thoughtful sentence, ideally, a really thoughtful sentence. Something like, wow, this is when I first saw that artist's work, it changed how I was looking at something, or something that is sincere, that's actually about what you think about that. And the reason this is so powerful is because whether it's a major museum or a major gallery or a small gallery or a small alternative space, when you comment on their Instagram posts, they're going to know that you commented, because I'm sure you know, unless it's a kind of a celebrity or something that's nearly viral, there's not usually a lot of comments on Instagram posts. So when someone makes a comment, a decent one, there's only one reaction that museum, that gallerist, that collector, that curator will have, and it's to click on your site, to say who said this wonderful thing. It's human nature. So you're literally on their radar now. They may follow you, and because they're looking at your Instagram, what I would say is, if you're doing this also, have an Instagram account that's just your art. You could have a couple of other things on there. Sure, you go on a trip or whatever, but largely your art. because what I'm advocating today is you follow several gallerists, several museums, several curators, and you comment regularly on their posts. Now, if you are following a lot of people, I would put in notifications for the people that I'm talking about. So you actually get a little notification that pops up when that gallery posts, or when that, artist posts or curator posts, so you can react to it right away. And what I was also going to say is, since this is all about Instagram, and the fact that, I'd like you to follow a very designated group of people that you want to be on the radar of. Have your website, not your website, have your Instagram. You could also clean up your website, but have your Instagram look great. Just your art on there. A few images, some other things, but largely your art. Because if you do this process of just following, let's say, less than a dozen of galleries and museums and curators that you really admire, and you comment regularly, once or twice a week, but like a comment, like a sentence, something, again, thoughtful, you will get to be on their radar. You will see some of them will start following you. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know who this wonderful person is. And that's how you get on their radar. They'll be flipping through their Instagram feed when they're bored, and they'll see your work pop up. And your name is something that they'll also remember, because they've been watching you post for a while now. So that's the small tip for today. Very useful. I'd love to hear people are using that. I teach courses. I build a tribe of different artists in Praxis Center. If you're interested, you could use the link below. Otherwise, I wish you all well as artists, and I hope you use this technique. I think you'll find that there's some advantages to it, and that you'll see right away that some people will begin to follow you, or they may even start a dialogue with you. You're posting something, a thoughtful sentence about what a curator posted. It's easy to kind of get them in dialogue just on that thread. I've always loved this artist's work. What I wondered was, what year was this produced? Was this one done in France, or was this in England? Asking a question like that, you'll get a response also from the curator who wants to field questions like that. Again, thank you guys for listening. Whoever's listening now, wish you well. And if you're not a member of Praxis Center, I'll leave a link on the bottom of this video so you can explore that option. Otherwise, for all the members of Praxis Center that are hearing this video, look forward to seeing you, of course, in the group where you can ask me anything about this, and we'll talk more about Instagram and, of course, also all social media in Praxis Center. I wish you well. Have a wonderful day.